Thank you for the introduction, and thank you everyone for joining us this evening. My name is Ryan, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how to plan a career in biotechnology and alternative careers in medicine. And then I'll also be talking with you a little bit about the Keck Graduate Institutes following the presentation, if anyone was interested in learning more. And if you do have questions, like was mentioned before, please submit them through the Facebook page because I would be happy to answer them. Or I could also provide you with my email address following the presentation. If you did want to follow up with me and ask me any questions, perhaps offline, I'd be happy to answer your questions then as well too. So getting started, we are going to start. Give me 1 second here. All right. Okay, just jumped forward here. All right, so we're going to be talking a little bit about planning a career, and we're going to start by talking a little bit about the life sciences ecosystem. And really what I'm talking about here is talking about the industry as a whole. You know, what's it made up of? Who are the key players? You know, really kind of defining what the life sciences industry is. So on this slide, we've just highlighted some of the big names that if anyone has looked into the biotech industry before, you probably have heard of. We work a lot with Amgen, which is one of our partners here on the West Coast in the United States. We also work a lot with Regeneron, which is in New York. You know, these are pretty large biotech life sciences groups. They do a lot with research and development. They're working on pharmaceutical discovery and development. They're working on all types of research, from cancer to diabetes. They're also working on medical devices. You know, developing new medical devices and therapies to help doctors and researchers to make new discoveries every day that advance our society in terms of discovering new cures and new drug therapies. So this is really what we're talking about when we're talking about life sciences and biotech, these large groups as well as smaller groups, smaller startup biotech companies as well too, and there's a number of them are out there. And you know, the world itself has become a much smaller place. So you know, you're going to see biotech all over the world now. It's not just in the U.S. And I just want to start a little bit by talking about the past when we're talking about biotech. So this is just a quick slide to kind of highlight what the industry looked like about in 2000, and at this time, biotech, it was still coming into its own. A lot of what was going on was happening pretty much within the large biotech companies like Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer. They were really handling all of their corporate research and manufacturing and clinical trials and marketing all in-house. So this was all happening through the companies themselves. And all of these put together were creating the products that we see on the markets today. You know, the drug therapies and medical devices. This was really all happening at a larger scale. It wasn't until recently that biotech really started to kind of divide up. And this is for a number of reasons. You know, the academic institutions really started to come into play in terms of academic research. Smaller biotech companies started to come on the market as more and more individuals kind of broke out and saw a need for developing a new biotech company in a specific field or industry. So a lot of what's going on now is a lot of this is broken up. It's not all being handled under one large company anymore. Companies are outsourcing for marketing and for global trials. Another key factor is just the size of the industry itself and how spread out it is across the world. And what we're seeing now is things are happening on a global level, not just on a local or domestic level. So this change has required the companies to rethink about how they approach and about who they hire in terms of being able to get products onto the market. So because of this, we at Keck saw a greater need to develop a new type of skill set for young students and for young employees who are looking to enter the industry. But before we talk about Keck, I just want to talk a little bit about the industry careers and the function areas. There's a lot that can be done in biotech. Obviously, the big one that comes to mind for most of the students that I work with is research and development. A lot of students really want to be on the ground level, working in the labs, doing the research, and really being a part of a team that creates that next drug breakthrough, which is a really, really great goal. However, not all students are really interested in research, but they are interested in working in biotech. So I just want to highlight a couple of the other function areas that students can enter besides research and development. We have drug discovery and development. We also have production and process engineering. Oftentimes students coming from engineering backgrounds are not quite sure what kind of role they play in biotech, and there's a really great need for engineers, chemical, mechanical, all types of students with engineering backgrounds. So it's not just for biology and chemistry and biotech majors, but engineering majors are also encouraged to look into biotech as well. Regulatory and clinical, regulatory affairs and clinical trials, this is a really big and upcoming area. And this really has to do with just the amount of regulation that is put on clinical trials and biotech companies today, and what it takes to get a product from research and development to actually come onto the market. The cost of doing clinical trials for any one particular device or drug is about $1 billion. So there's a lot of money being invested and spent on clinical trials. So companies are really looking for young employees who have a great and deep understanding of what it takes to be a part of regulatory affairs and to the clinical trials, and working with the FDA and different regulatory agencies to move products forward safely as well as effectively to the market for potential customers. Corporate and business development, this is really for those students who are a little bit more business-minded, but also have a deep appreciation and understanding of the advanced science, but who are interested in being part of the leadership and really working with all of the different departments within biotech, as well as outside constituents in terms of keeping the business moving forward and adding new products to their line. Corporate communications, consulting, marketing. Again, these are other areas that students typically tend not to think of when they think of biotech, especially if they're coming from science majors. But these are all really important areas now, with social media and getting funding and grants for continuing to further research. These are all really important areas. Supply chain management is another area in terms of keeping products moving, not ensuring that they don't sit on the shelf too long and that they're stored properly. So just in general, I just wanted to highlight a couple of the areas that are available to students who are interested in moving forward in biotech, that maybe want to look at areas that are outside of research and development. So to go back to talking about hiring and what biotech companies are looking for now, obviously most important is the deep scientific knowledge. You can't be doing the research if you don't have the experience and the skill set necessary to be working in the lab. So that's obviously very important. But secondly, which might surprise some of you, is a skill set in broad business and management. And really what we're looking for here, and what companies are looking for, is students who have an understanding of the business, who understand what it takes in terms of, again, clinical regulations, research and development from a business standpoint. So nothing too specific, but a broad business understanding as well as management skills. Project management is very important. Obviously, we don't work in a bubble. when we're working at a large company, or any company for that matter, even a small company, we are required to work with coworkers in other departments, so project management and leadership skills are very important. Quantitative reasoning, ethical judgment is very important in biotech. Intercultural skills, social responsibility, self-knowledge, oral communication, writing, these are all obvious but also very important skill set. And then teamwork. Again, we don't work in a bubble when we're in labs, or if we're in a leadership position. So obviously being able to work in a team-based setting as well as be a leader and keep things moving forward is very important. So to really highlight and to kind of define what's different in biotech now in terms of skills needed to be successful versus what they were, 10, 15 years ago. It's really that coupling of the advanced scientific knowledge as well as the broad business and management skills. That's really what's key here. And that's, if you don't take anything else away from this presentation today, I'd like you to take that away. As you think about your career path moving forward, it's really important to continue your science degrees, but also kind of keep in the back of your mind, if you have the opportunity to take a business class, or to do an internship within a company and really kind of understand and see how it operates from a broad perspective, that's really important, and that will only benefit you down the road, because that's really what employees and hiring managers are looking for. So skills required for industry positions. We talked a little bit about this, but I will just kind of highlight again. Strong STEM background, advanced science, engineering, education. The best candidates that we see when working with our industry partners, they tell us that they have industry experience in the field, hands-on training, business training, leadership skills, strong communication, and ability to work successfully on a team. So again, just a quick summarization of what we've been talking about. But really that business leadership as well as the advanced science education is extremely important. All right, hang on one second here. We're just updating our presentation. So how do we enter the biotech industry? It might not be quite as obvious as it appears. Obviously, companies are posting, open jobs on their websites and through social media. Students are looking at graduate and PhD programs, which all are viable options. And I just want to kind of pick them apart quickly and just kind of highlight some of them in case some of you are considering any of these options into entering the biotech. So for undergraduates, there are students that are looking at undergraduate programs or current undergraduates. Typically, students are coming from majors like biology, molecular biology, chemistry, biotech, biochemical engineering, pre-med, neuroscience, pharmaceutical discovery and development. These are just some of the examples where students are coming from in terms of a major. Another really great resource for students is going to be looking at student clubs and organizations. Look for clubs on campus that include industry-focused events or networking opportunities. Perhaps there's a chemistry club or a biology club or an engineering club. Really ask them and to the council members or the president or whoever's the leader of the group, do you work with local industry? Do you have connections to industry? Do you host networking events? And if not, now's a really great time just to start your own. That's a great sign of leadership is forming your own STEM or biotech focused student club on campus. Another great option for industry experience is an internship for undergraduates. If you have an opportunity to do one during the academic year, that's great. Some students elect to do them during the summer or when they have a break from school. And this can be organized in a couple of ways. You've lost me? Hello?
Ryan, we've lost your volume.
Can you hear me? I'm still connected. Hello? Okay, great. The last, sorry about that, folks. The last uh, opportunity, again, in internships. They're a
Lost
really
your
great
sound.
resource for students in terms of getting in touch with companies. So look into internships. You can work with a faculty member, or if you have a career office, an advising office on campus, they also might be able to help facilitate an internship for you as well. So for those students who are looking to enter the industry right out of their undergraduates degree, this is typically what the application process will look like. I can hear you.
Ryan, we lost your audio again. Ryan, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Okay. I'm not sure why we keep losing each other, but hopefully this won't keep happening. But just to get back into talking about the typical application process, you find a job posted online, you submit your resume electronically. Typically, if it's a larger company, these resumes get filtered through a software system, and the resumes that are applications that are missing keywords, they're automatically discarded, which can be extremely frustrating. For those few that do continue on, a human resources or hiring manager will screen the resumes, and then the fewer that are selected will actually be brought in for an interview. So it can be quite a lengthy process depending on the size of the company and how many applicants they receive for a particular position. Additionally, if your resume or application is missing a keyword or phrase, and it's automatically disregarded, that can also be frustrating and a hindrance, because you could be a great candidate, but if you're missing a couple of keywords, then that prevents you from getting an interview. So entering the biotech industry right from an undergrad position is not impossible, but it can be difficult. Additionally, these companies are also looking for students who have some type of experience, or even a graduate degree. So looking into an advanced degree at the graduate level is something that I encourage students to do. However, it's not always possible, but if you can, take a look into graduate programs. So I do just want to highlight some of the differences between the graduate programs that exist here in the U.S. for students that are interested in studying here. One is the first program is called a Professional Science Master's, and that's actually what the Keck Graduate Institute offers here at my university. And these are advanced science and technical courses. They're industry focused. We happen to be focused in biotech and life sciences. They combine both science and business education, and these programs, they typically prepare students for leadership roles, not just positions within research and development, although that is possible, but we also take a look at the broader spectrum of job opportunities that are available in biotechnology. The other type of program available is an MBA program, and these mostly focus on business courses. They're generally not industry specific, so these is kind of just broad management courses. And some students will look into this to get the business skills needed. They will look into this type of program, which is great. There's a lot of great MBA programs out there. However, what you're going to be missing is the advanced science courses, as well as the education where you're getting the advanced science and education courses together within the same institution. This is just a quick article in the New York Times from last year, and it just kind of highlights the popularity of the professional science master's programs. There's just a quick sentence here I'd like to read to you. It says, increasingly, students are seeking degrees that prepare them for success in a wide range of professional settings. And more than 90% of professional science master's graduates surveyed for 2013 were employed in a job related to their field of study. So these are graduate programs that are very successful at what they do, and as well as great at placing students within their fields of choice. The last program I want to talk to you about is a PhD. Often students who have selected to do a master's will then continue to look at a PhD program. And again, with this program, it's a bit more time extensive. You have to create a thesis. You have to defend your thesis. The PhDs in science tend to not be focused on business coursework, and these students tend to enter research or teaching positions. But here in the U.S., we actually have an oversaturation of postdoc students. Postdocs are students who have completed their PhD program and are working in a postdoctoral position as a research assistant. And we have an oversaturation of them with fewer academic positions available, meaning that students who once thought as the PhD as a path getting into teaching may not find that anymore today, just because of the sheer number of students that are looking to enter into the academic teaching positions, and there are fewer of these positions available. Additionally, there's less funding today for independent labs and research. So students, again, who are looking to get a PhD to hopefully have their own lab somewhere at a university, we are actually seeing this happening fewer and fewer because of the lack of funding available today for independent labs and research. And there's a number of articles and research out there about the oversaturation of postdocs. So while the PhD might have been traditionally the course and the path to take to get into teaching or to biotech, that's actually not the case anymore today. There certainly are a number of students who are still looking to enter a PhD program, which is great, but if you're only doing it because you feel like that's your only way to get into biotech, then I'm here to tell you that's not the case. You can certainly have a great, successful, and lucrative career in biotech without having to have pursued the PhD degree. So now I'll just kind of talk quickly about the Keck Graduate Institute, kind of give you an idea of where we're coming from and why we're here talking with you today. So we are a university that focuses on graduate programs only. We do not offer undergrad. And our programs focus specifically on the life sciences, biotechnology, engineering, and we also have a post-bac program for students who are looking to enter a medical school. So our programs are the Masters of Bioscience, which is our biggest. We also offer a PhD in Life Sciences. We have a postdoc professional master's program. This is for students who have completed a postdoc program. Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry, it seems we've lost audio again. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Okay, so we're back. I'd like to just kind of retouch on what we might have missed. I apologize for that. So we have a Master's of Bioscience, which is our most popular master's degree program. We have a PhD in Life Sciences. We offer a postdoc professional master's program. This is for students who have completed a postdoc program, who are currently working in a research or academic setting, and who are interested in moving into industry but lack the skill set necessary to do so. So we have a postdoc program for these students. We have a pre-medical certificate. This is a one-year program.
Ryan, could you say something again, please?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can everybody hear Ryan?
I can hear you guys. Oh, they're telling me they can hear me. That's good. Well, I wasn't speaking. I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me, but I can continue on. And our last program that I just want to highlight is our KGI School of Pharmacy. This is actually a new program.
Hello.
And hello? Okay. All right. So continuing on, I just want to talk a little bit about our academic programs, particularly with our Team Masters projects. This is a feature of our Masters of Bioscience program, which is a 2-year program. The first year is focused on academic coursework, followed by a paid internship over the summer. And then our final year of our master's program is a project called a Team Masters Project. And this is a capstone experience. It's a year-long contracted research position at a leading bioscience company. And we have a number of different companies that come back to us year after year. We also have with the emergence of new biotech companies, we also have an influx of smaller biotechs that approach us looking for our students' help as well. It's an interdisciplinary project, so it's focused on science, engineering, as well as management, and we also include some of the projects. They vary, but some of them will also include marketing as well. These groups they're financially supported by an industry sponsor, so you get a budget from the companies. You're working in teams of 3 to 5 students. You also have a liaison who is someone from the company to work with you and mentor you, as well as a faculty advisor here at KGI. Students are responsible for creating and following through with a project, a timeline for the completion of the project, a budget, and as well as responsible for implementation of a presentation at the end of the year, which will be presented to the KGI as well as to the industry community. Now, these teams, master's projects, they give you really in-depth skills as well as hands-on experience, and many of these projects do lead to job opportunities by the company sponsors following the completion of your master's degree, which is really great. A lot of our students get to know the companies really well, get to really kind of dig in and see if it's an environment which is going to be a good fit for them, as well as for the companies. They also get to know the students and their skills, as well as their career goals. So quite often these opportunities lead to a job in the career following. To highlight some of our corporate sponsors for the Team Masters project from last year, these were our company sponsors. So students were working with companies such as Gilead, Lilly, Takeda, City of Hope, which is actually a local one here to KGI, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Adam, Cambridge Health Tech Institute, Sarpeda. So some big names as well as some smaller names. And students have the opportunity to select 3 projects that they're interested in working on. putting the first one as their top pick, and then they have to pick 2 additional ones as well. So I just want to talk a little bit about our alumni as well too. Pratisha, she was a student who joined us. She completed her master's in 2013. She actually completed her summer internship at Roche out in San Francisco. She worked her team master's project, her TMP project, was with Terumo, a BCT, and she actually went back to working at Roche, which is where she did her summer internship, and she's currently an associate global project manager. She oversees a number of different research projects at Roche on the global level. It's a really great position. She's able to utilize her advanced science skills, as well as she's attained a leadership position in terms of being a global project manager. So she's also utilizing the business skill set that she works with, and it's a really great position. She gets to work on, with a number of different projects. So she's expanding her experience, as well as getting to know and getting to work with a number of different products as well that Roche is currently working on. And she chose KGI because of our ties with industry leaders, the internship opportunities, which obviously worked out really well for her because she's currently working full-time where she did her internship, and her ability to work for top companies through the Team Masters project. For our international students, we have a number of services provided. We also have a liaison here on campus who serves as your international admission students counselor. We have international student orientation that takes place during a regular orientation. We have temporary host families, airport pickup services if that's of interest. We have an employment workshop, advising both academic as well as career advising. And we also have helps with your admissions and international student forms, as well as the visa. We have a really quite diverse group of students on campus. We have 40% international students each year in terms of who's on campus, and they're coming to us from 9 countries from around the world. So even though we are a smaller institution of about 500 students, we are very globally diverse in terms of where they're coming from, as well as what their research and academic interests are. Talk to you a little bit about application deadlines. Most of our programs for this year, please excuse the 2013. That's actually a misprint on my part, and I apologize for that. But we have a priority deadline of December 15th for anyone who's interested in applying. And I'm getting a note that not everyone can hear me, so let me take a second and hope maybe our connection. Oh, stop it. Maybe our connection will improve. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I think we're back. So just talked a little bit about oh, I'm sorry, I clicked on the screen. Our application deadlines, and again, please ignore the 2013. That is a misprint on my part. Our application deadline for this year is December 15th for our programs. And even though we do operate on a rolling admissions basis, which means if you apply after this deadline, we will still review your application. But we post December 15th as a deadline for students who are interested in applying, as well as receiving financial aid. We do have financial aid available to students, including international students. So we do ask that if you have an interest in funding, that you send your application to us by the December 15th deadline, so we're able to review and make decisions on admissions as well as financial aid. Our application can be found online at www.kgi.edu, as well as all of the instructions and forms for admissions and what you'll need as an international student. And this is also where you can find information on financial aid. Our financial aid packages vary greatly, so there's not really a set number, but they range anywhere between 5,000 US dollars up to 20,000 US dollars, and we evaluate each student's applications for the appropriate scholarship. And for our international students exclusively, if we do offer an international student loan. So if you find that you're having difficulty in covering the remaining amount of funds, if there are any, then we can offer you a student loan that's only available for international students to help cover any remaining costs of your education. And again, all of that information, if admissions and financial aid, can be found online on our website. So what can you do right now as a student in your current position? Learn about an industry or a particular company. Find a summer internship. Sign up for discussion groups that are biotech or life sciences, or even company specific, through LinkedIn and social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Join a student group if you're already not a member of one on your campus. Make sure your resume is up to date. Make sure that you're having someone review your resume. A faculty member, a career advisor, or an academic advisor would be really great. And then practice, this is important too, practice talking about your interests. Why are you interested in, working in research and development? Why are you interested in, cancer specifically? Why do you want to work with Regeneron? Practice talking with your friends, or even, again, faculty or career academic advisors are really great resources. Because many academic institutions are going to require an admissions interview as part of the application process. And so some of these questions may come up, so it's important to kind of have an idea of what you want to talk about and really be able to express yourself and your interest and career goals. And then additionally, which is not listed here, but if you are looking to apply to a master's program, start getting your application materials together already if you haven't done that. You're going to need materials such as a transcript from any academic institutions, 2 letters of recommendation, personal statements, your application materials, as well as your international student materials, and a visa. So if you haven't started any of those documents yet, it's important to do so ASAP, very, very soon. Probably one of the most important tools you can use right now is just networking, putting yourself out there. If there's opportunities for socialization at companies or through student groups or even events on campus, get to know different faculty members who maybe have an interest in your research. If you're already not working with them, sit down and talk with them. If you're currently in an internship, invite someone to sit and meet with you over a cup of tea or coffee, or share a meal with someone, and just ask them if it's okay if you can pick their brain and kind of really get a good feel of what their position is, to see if it's something that is going to be part of your interest as well too. So just getting yourself out there as an individual and making yourself known is really important. So networking. So at this time, what I'll do is I'll leave the floor open for questions. So if you have a question, please let me know. I'll be on here and be happy to answer any questions. And then I've also provided my contact information. So again, if it's a question you'd like to ask me offline, personally over email, then I'd be happy to speak with you following the presentation. So just send me an email at rclement@kgi.edu. And I want to thank everyone for joining, and I apologize for our audio that was a bit off through some of the slides, but thank you again, and I look forward to hearing your questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation, Ryan. It seems like our chat box works sometimes and doesn't work sometimes. So I invite all of our participants to type the questions into our Facebook page. We are facebook.com/EducationUSA Mumbai. So we'll just give it a couple of minutes to see if we get some questions.
No problem. Sure. So for our School of Pharmacy, we had a question about talking a little bit about that and what options there are for international students. Unfortunately, our School of Pharmacy is not accepting international student applications at this point. That's something that we hope to change down the road. But this is our newest program. So currently we're not able to accept international students for School of Pharmacy. We have another question about professional science masters. So we talked a little bit about this, but I'll highlight it again. Professional science masters, these are a new type of master's programs that are offered here in the U.S. And these are master's programs that are interdisciplinary, meaning students are often receiving more than one skill set and are taking courses in more than one area. So for KGI, for example, our students are taking advanced science courses, but they're also taking business courses as well. And we're combining the business and the science courses because this is what the industry has dictated as what it needs for its employees in terms of being able to keep the companies moving forward and being successful in terms of advancing their discoveries in the biotech and life sciences industry. So in some, these are programs where students are receiving more than one skill set versus a traditional master's program where students are focusing primarily just on one particular area. Maybe that's research or business, but not both of them together, where a professional science master's will allow students to do both simultaneously. These are very unique programs, and these programs fill a very unique skill set. So for us, we're fulfilling a need in the biotech industry for students who have advanced science skills as well as a broad understanding of the biotech business. We received a question for an undergrad degree and what is the cost approximately. We don't offer undergraduate degrees, but for our Masters of Bioscience, which is our most popular degree program, the cost for that program is about $36,000 US dollars per year. And that's not including any financial aid or any scholarships that students might receive. That's just the raw cost, which I'm happy to say none of our students pay directly. Most of our students do receive some type of funding, if not fully funded. So none of our students are paying the full price. So we received a question, what advice would you give to students who want to pursue medicine in the U.S.? We actually have a couple of questions that are kind of similar to this, so I'll go ahead and address that. Studying and applying to medical school here in the U.S. is extremely competitive, and unfortunately I don't see that becoming any less competitive over the next 10 years or so. So what I tell our students who are looking to apply to medical school is, it's tough. You can expect to apply to at least 20 schools. Most of our students that are looking at medical school do apply to at least 20. So really putting a wide number of applications out there. Really ensuring that as an undergrad you're fulfilling all of and maintaining good grades in your science courses as well as your pre-med courses. If you have the opportunity to enroll in a pre-med track in your undergraduate degree, that's a good way to continue to receive pre-med advising. However, not all undergraduate programs have a pre-med track advising program, which is fine. But just continue really working with an advisor to ensure that you're taking all the courses that the medical school is going to require. So to take a step back to really look at what's required of your top 5 choices for medical school. Really ensuring that you're taking the courses that are required, such as organic chemistry, If you have to take some type of physiology or certain biology courses, make sure you're taking those and you're aware of them prior to applying. Also pay attention to minimum courses, GPAs, or different. I know we don't have GPAs, but different exams that are required for the medical school. Make sure that you've completed, you have some type of internship or leadership experience to add to your resume. That's really great. And what a lot of students are doing now to help make their applications more competitive is they're applying to these post-bac pre-medical certificate programs, which is one of the programs that we offer. And this is a one-year program that allows students to really work and focus on their medical school application. We offer our students have the opportunity to take advanced master degree level courses, which proves to medical schools and demonstrates that they're capable of being successful at the master's level in science courses. We also offer advising for their med school applications. We help them with medical school interviews, putting together their personal statements. We also have testing prep, so for students that are taking the MCAT or want to retake the MCAT for a better exam, which is the test score that is required by most medical schools here in the U.S. We offer test preparation through our program, and most post-bac programs will as well. So these programs are just really a one-year opportunity to help students prepare for entering medical school and for making their applications a bit more competitive than if they were just to try it alone. So those would be some of my recommendations. So I have a question about cellular and molecular biology major at KGI. We don't have a particular major in that program. Our Master's of Bioscience does have, we have 5 concentrations. The first is a Business of Bioscience concentration for students who are interested more in learning a little bit more about the business side than some of our other students. We have a Clinical and Regulatory Affairs concentration for students who are interested in learning about those areas. We have a Bioprocessing concentration. We have Pharmaceutical Discovery and Development concentration. And then we also have a Medical Devices and Diagnostics concentration. So we don't have a specific cellular and molecular biology. However, we do have students from those undergrad majors that are focusing on either or a couple of those concentrations here at KGI.
Okay, Ryan, I think we've come to the end of our questions and the end of the time that we have for today's session. I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for logging in. I know it's bright and early over there, and doing this wonderful presentation for us. It will be available in the future as a resource for students who are interested in, life science and related programs. And I want to thank all of our participants for joining us today. If you had a question that wasn't answered, please do write in to Ryan. Her email ID is up on the screen. Please do connect with her and follow up with her. And I want to thank you all for joining us for today's session. And we're sorry about the technical issues. Today was just one of those days. So yeah, thank you all, and I hope you'll join us back again tomorrow when we will be talking about business programs and computer science and cybersecurity related programs. So I hope to see you all tomorrow, and thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.